Hello, guys, and welcome. Again, we are going to stay on this solo travel journey because it's just been, something that has been paramount and has changed my life so much. And I always ask people, what if I told you that the moment you step on the plane alone, your life will never be the same? Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome back to Mrs. Me Time. If you're new here, my name is Brunelda, and this is a space about rediscovering yourself, your joy, and your freedom after 50. In today's video, we're going to do something a little different. This is going to be more personal and a lot more honest. And I'm holding my mic like the cool kids. I know this is not always talked about, but I do want to talk about how solo travel really changed me, and not in a way that people think. You know, we often see pictures of the beaches and the pretty outfits and, living your best life moments, but no one really talks about what happens on the inside. So today I'm sharing the truth about the identity shift, the confidence, the independence, the loneliness, and the unexpected empowerment of solo travel. Because if you've been feeling that pull to travel alone, this just might be your confirmation. When you travel alone, there's a real big identity shift. um, I want to start there, at the identity shift, because this is the part that surprised me the most. When you travel alone, something very subtle but very powerful happens. And this happened to me. You really meet yourself again, who you truly are, not as someone's wife or someone's mother or even as an employee, just you. And at first, this can feel extremely uncomfortable. But many of us, including me, we've spent so many decades, years being everything for everyone else. So when you are finally alone, you start asking questions like, what do I actually like? What do I want to do today? How am I how am I without all of these roles? And just let me tell you, in that moment, it's not always easy, but it's very, very powerful. You begin to rebuild your identity, not based on your obligations, but truly based on your own desires, and that's powerful. It's a nice confidence, like a confidence that you just can't fake. Um, let's talk a little bit about actually confidence. There is a kind of confidence that comes from, looking good and getting compliments and being validated. But solo travel gives you something different. It gives you an earned confidence, if you know what that means. The kind that comes from navigating a new place, figuring out things on your own, solving problems in real time, like when you find your way around in a new city, that's a big deal. When you sit down at a restaurant alone and you own it, you make decisions without asking anyone's opinion. And slowly during that time, something just kind of clicked. It clicked for me. I started thinking, wait, I can do this. I got this. And that level of confidence, you don't leave it at the airport when you go home. That confidence stays with you. It changes you. The independence and the freedom it creates for you, what it created for me. It it just feels luxurious. It was a different feeling. It was a freedom I had never really experienced. When you get have an opportunity to travel alone, you wake up when you want, you eat when you want, you go where you want. There's no negotiations, no compromising, no waiting for anyone else. And for women over 50, many women over 50, this might be the first time in a long time, if ever, that you experience this level of independence. And once you taste it, man, it's so hard to go back to traveling with other people, because you realize I don't have to wait for someone else to live my own life. And that's just, again, it's wonderful, it's exciting. But one thing that's true, always true, loneliness is real. And I'm going to be real with you about that loneliness piece, because this is the part that people don't always like to talk about. And yes, 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 there are moments of loneliness when you travel alone, moments when you wish you had someone to share a meal with. You see other couples and families and groups together, and you do feel out of place and, a little uncomfortable. And in those moments, it's easy to think, maybe this wasn't such a good idea, maybe this wasn't for me. But here's something that I've learned. Loneliness is not your enemy. It's just simply information. It shows you where you crave connection, uh, where you need deeper relationships, and where you're still growing. And instead of running from the loneliness, I just tend to sit with it. I try to use it as a teaching tool. I learn from it. And eventually, I did, and I know you will, become comfortable being in your own presence. It's an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity for self discovery. And through self discovery, this is where the magic happens. The true magic happens, because once you move through the discomfort, you start rediscovering parts of yourself that you've forgotten. Maybe you realize you love walking by the water. I love to walk on the beach. You may enjoy quiet mornings with a cup of coffee. uh, you may be more adventurous than you thought you were. You start doing things not because you should, but because you want to. And that's nice, because we do a lot of things because we should do it, or we think we should do it, or we feel guilty, but because you want to. And this is when life really starts to feel free, starts to feel light, starts to feel more aligned. You stop performing and you start living. And this is a great time, and you feel like you're stepping into empowerment. You are getting into your me time energy. And that's now. This is what you're feeling now. This is what I'm calling my me time era, hence this channel. Solo travel teaches you that you are enough company. You are capable. You are worthy of beautiful experience. I learned that I don't need permission to do anything. I don't need validation, and I don't need to wait for anybody to go. I'm becoming the woman that I want to be. I go where I want to go, and I'm good doing it on my own. And that's the energy that I like to have. And that energy spills over into all areas of my life. What no one tells you, and this is a real truth bomb, and is that travel, solo travel won't fix everything. It won't magically solve your problems. But what it will do is show you who you are. It will strengthen your voice, and it will remind you of your power. And a lot of us at this time in life, we've kind of lost that, and we need that. We need that tap, that memory. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. When you see that strength, you cannot unsee that. So again, if you if something is pulling at you to travel solo, you've been thinking about it. If something inside of you has been whispering, there's more to life than this, don't ignore it. You know, that's not random. It's your spirit calling you forward. And you need to honor that. You need to listen to that, because I did. Now, if this video spoke to you, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share it with another woman who needs this message. And I want you to comment below. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, because this season of your life, this time belongs to you. And remember, beautiful ladies, you are not too old. You are not too late. And your best chapter is still waiting to be written. I will see you in the next video, and go ahead and plan that trip. Talk to you soon. Have an amazing day.